Hello, my name is Jamal Rahman. I'm Imam at the Interfaith Community Sanctuary. And I'm speaking to you to really thank you for your exquisite graciousness and generosity on my behalf, on the behalf of my family, on behalf of all the villages in northern Bengal, particularly in the village I come from called Modipur and Chandipur, for two projects which you have actually financed, supported, and sustained. The first one is a school for girls, and this was initiated by my grandparents. My grandfather was a fairly noted spiritual healer and teacher of northern Bengal. In fact, he was known as a rainmaker. When there was a drought, he would go and pray with increased fervency, and sometimes it really worked. The heavens would open up and it would rain in torrents, all by grace of God. And he and my grandmother, who was noted for her golden heart, they were a beautiful team that provided the most remarkable healing and teaching in the villages of northern Bengal. My grandparents were very aware that there was a great urgent need for the education of girls. My grandparents, they established a school for girls in their mango gardens which they owned. When my grandparents passed away, my parents, who were diplomats, and my parents, they really initiated many programs in the villages, including the electrification of those remote villages. They undertook the responsibility for sustaining that school for girls. When they passed away, it became our responsibility, mine, my brother, and my sister. And here I genuinely want to thank you, my friends and community in Seattle, because it is your donations, it is your financing, it is your free will offering out of love that has made this humble school really develop, evolve into a flourishing school for 300 girls. In fact, it is so remarkably developed that the government has recognized it as an educational resource, and they in fact now supply the salaries for the teachers. The second project, for which we are very grateful to you, is a medical clinic primarily for women and children at a very nominal price. I believe the price is, for each appointment you make, it's like 7 cents. This was the vision of my sister, whose name is Aisu. She's a medical doctor. And so to fulfill that dream, we put our family funds, and initially we built a residence to accommodate visiting doctors and nurses. And then my sister recruited a close relative, who is a doctor, to come and serve the village. But where? Because we had no physical location, in the school after school hours. So let me introduce to you my sister, and she'll tell you more about this beautiful project which you, out of your generosity, have been financing and supporting.
Hi everyone, I'm Aisu, Jamal's sister, and I want to talk about the medical center. So we started the center January 2014. My relative, Dr. Nadira, she would visit the center twice a month, and she'd see about 60 patients every time. She's been doing that all of 2014. 2015, mid-2015, we actually were able to hire a medical assistant who goes to the center 4 times a week, and together with Dr. Nadira, they are seeing 700 patients a month, which is really exciting, thanks to all your contribution. And that made us realize that now we do need a center of our own, a building of our own, at least a room for the medical assistant, for the doctor, and maybe a waiting room where the patients can start coming. My aspiration is the center is very important, but at some point have a nursing school for the women who attend that school that my grandfather started. I also want to continue with a little more about what happens in the center. So patients who come are typically women and children, and they come for a variety of reasons. We have women who are pregnant, we have women who are new mothers, they come with their children, usually with complaints of respiratory, like sore throat, runny nose. They'll come with maybe stomach aches, loose motion, which we call diarrhea, and just temperature. We also have many women who have been diagnosed with hypertension and actually have been given medication, but they can't afford to get the medication every month, so we have been supplying that. We also have women who have diabetes and they have to take some medication. Again, they can't always travel to the town to get the medication, so we also fulfill their need, giving them the medication so that they can stay healthy. So that's about the patients who go there. Sometimes we do get male patients, and the doctor and the medical assistant, they are quite familiar with also just the basic needs like common cold, or any stomach problems.
And what was particularly exciting is when we returned from Bangladesh, or while we were there in Bangladesh, we found the students in the school so enthusiastic about volunteering to work as registrants, to help as unofficial medical assistants for the patients in the clinic. And they were particularly excited about this nursing school that we were saying in the near future will be built, because they wanted to really become professionals and be of authentic service in the community and also in the adjoining places. I wanted to say that really, because of your gracious and generous help, both for the school and for the medical clinic, in this case the clinic, we have raised sufficient funds not only for the operating costs of the clinic, but also for part of the capital cost of the clinic. Now, our fervent hope is that we shall receive enough donations to complete the building of the clinic, and also maybe have some funds for starting the nursing school. So several things I want to tell you. First of all, thank you so much for your magnanimity, for your graciousness and generosity in supporting these two very worthwhile projects. And number two, we truly from our hearts appeal to you for any help you can give us, and please know that any dollar you give goes entirely for the capital cost and the operating cost. And the last thing I want to tell you is we truly, our family, we invite you to visit our village, stay in that beautiful house we have built, where we have 2 Western style modern bathrooms, so you have all the conveniences, and visit the school and the clinic. So we intend to take visitors, and we hope that you will join us. But once again, thank you so much.
So before we sign off, I want to add to my brother's invitation to go to Bangladesh physically. Please do visit us on our Facebook page to take a virtual tour. The link is going to be up on the screen, so please feel free to go as many times as you'd like, and as many times that you can spare your time, valuable time. I also want to add that I will be there with my brother and my children and my family on the Bengali Gala night, and I invite you and we invite you from the bottom of our hearts to be there that evening. It's Saturday, December 5th at 5:30 p.m. and it's going to be at the Interfaith Sanctuary. So we really hope you'll be able to make it. Thank you.